Hi guys, Daily Iowa TV, Matside, wrapping up Big Ten wrestling coverage from Madison, Wisconsin, alongside Danny Payne and Cody Goodwin. I'm Kevin Glick. Penn State wins their fourth consecutive outright Big Ten tournament title. They finished with 140.5 points. Iowa, not too far back, they scored 134 points in the tournament. And Minnesota was a little bit farther back in third place with 114.5. In Iowa, they had their chances leading into this tournament to actually close it out. They were actually leading halfway through the final session after 157. And Cody, why couldn't they close this one out?
Well, I'll tell you what, Kevin, it was the same four guys who actually helped Iowa into second place. Today, they just weren't able to close out those close matches in the finals. We're talking Iowa's Derek St. John at 157, Nick Moore at 165 pounds, Mike Evans at 74, and of course Ethan Loftus at 184 pounds. All four of those guys losing in the finals to their respective opponents. St. John to James Green of Nebraska, Nick Moore to David Taylor of Penn State, Mike Evans to Robert Kokesh of Nebraska, and Ethan Loftus to Ed Ruth of Penn State. Just Iowa missing out on those small points, which is why they only 6.5 points back. Obviously, those four matches were crucial in deciding the team title.
Yeah, but Tom Brands, he's pretty optimistic heading into the NCAA championships in Oklahoma City in just a couple of weeks, and here's what Coach had to say.
I believe that we have a team to win it here, and I believe we have a team to win it in a couple of weeks, and that's how you go forward. That's what our next mission is, and we got to get ready for the next tournament. And even if we come out on top, there's things to work on, and there's things to work on now. So it's the same either way. We got to go to work.
Like Coach Brand said, this team is a team that can actually go ahead and win a title. And Danny, 6.5 points, that's really, really close.
No, that's right, Kevin. I mean, Cody and I both were talking about this before. We were both somewhat surprised by this Iowa team. I mean, we knew they were a good team, but they're 6.5 points behind Penn State. I mean, that's essentially nothing. Let's say you get a win from St. John, you get a win from Evans. Just one of those guys, one or two of those guys, you're right in the thick of things. So Iowa really coming up in a few weeks here in Oklahoma City. I mean, maybe a closer race than we thought with Penn State. We originally thought they might just run away with the title, but it could be a little bit closer than we originally thought.
I mean, you can look at this day too and kind of point to where Iowa those 6.5 points are. You know what? Corey Clark ended up finishing fourth instead of third at 125 pounds. Josh Jevin not able to get into the third place match at 141. You know, Brody Grothus, who everybody's been big on at 149 pounds, wasn't even wrestling today. So that's 6.5 points right up. Well, who knows how many points that is? I mean, this is definitely a team that can get the job done. It's just about execution.
Yeah, Penn State were 2-3 in their 5 final matches. Iowa 1-4, and even talking about those guys that didn't wrestle or didn't place as high as they could. Had Iowa won 2 more titles, and it's easier to say had they won 2 more titles, but had they have done it, which not outside the realm of possibility, they would have won the title even without all those guys and the back points and the wrestlebacks.
Definitely, this is a team that doesn't need a perfect hand to get the job done in Oklahoma City in 2 weeks. They are a team that, like I just said, and Tom said, he reiterated it, if they fine-tune some things within the next 2 weeks and just execution, that's that one thing that Tom Brands definitely harps on, this execution, getting those bonus points, always moving forward, always attacking. This is a team that could very much get the job done without the perfect hand. We could replay this entire Big Ten tournament and, a couple of those matches today, go another way. Iowa could be walking away as Big Ten champions.
But speaking of Big Ten champions, Iowa did crown one individual title. Tony Ramos getting the monkey off his back, finally winning an individual title, Big Ten or Nationals, but it's his first title in his collegiate career. And here's what he had to say after winning.
When I hit 0, I heard the guy on the outside count down 10, 9, and I knew I had to keep wrestling, stay in the center. I couldn't go back, but they were hitting me right away as soon as they could. So, huge weight was lifted. Finally got my name on that side of the wall that you look at every day. That's exciting. And now I just need to add an asterisk up on the other side and get everything you could possibly do here.
Pretty strange match between Tony Ramos and Tyler Graff of Wisconsin. Tony didn't even register any real offense, and he didn't even register a takedown.
No, you're absolutely right. He had no takedowns in the match of pair traded escapes. Tony just used a mean third-period ride to pick up that extra riding time point for the win. This match, this whole kind of event here in Madison, a little bit of hostility between both Iowa and Wisconsin, between the fans. Wrestlers were getting into it a little bit. That kind of became the face of that little bizarre rivalry. and that's a rivalry of their own that's becoming. Ramos and Graf wrestled a couple times going back, and Ramos obviously got the best of them today without any offense.
Just would not be shocked actually to see those two wrestle in the finals in 2 weeks out in Oklahoma City.
Yeah. Now that we're done here in Madison, Cody, what is there to look forward to in the next couple of weeks?
I mean, the couple of things to look forward to is eventually the NCAA seedings are going to come out. You're going to see the draws where each Iowa wrestlers land. There are a couple of wrestlers that did themselves some good this weekend. I mean, mainly Mike Evans was able to get he was able to knock off Matt Brown, who was previously ranked in the top 4. Wouldn't be shocked if Mike Evans landed one of those top 4 seeds at 174 pounds to better position himself to maybe make a run at the semifinals. Tony Ramos even positioned himself a little bit better. I know there's 2 guys in front of him that both won their respective conference titles, but a nice seeding there to get that win over Graf. Should put Graf on the other side. And even Nick Moore did himself some good, even making a run to the finals in dominating fashion. He probably won't see David Taylor again until the finals if the seeds draw as they should. But again, we won't find out for a while. And the other thing to look forward to is 149 pounds. Brody Groth is obviously the only Iowa wrestler not to compete on day 2 of the Big Ten Championships. Was bumped off. He's going to be hoping for an at-large bid at 149 pounds. There are only 29 automatic qualifiers per weight at the NCAA tournament, which leaves 4 at-large bids. They have 4 other wrestlers who, if they didn't meet the allocation requirement, that could end up participating in the NCAA tournament. So Brody's going to be waiting to hear from that. Everybody else will be on their way to Oklahoma City in a couple of weeks, and it should be a doozy down there. I'm looking forward to it.
Just touching on Groth is pretty quickly. Since he had that hot streak at the Midlands, won all those matches, and it's become the permanent spot at the Iowa 149 in the lineup. Been ranked in the top 10, his RPI is in the top 10. So we'll see. He's got a good shot, but we'll see coming up here when those rankings come out.
Yeah, I mean he had a 1 win on day 1, the first win since the 2009-2010 season when Brett Metcalf was a 149 pounder. He's able to get to the NCAA tournaments. That'd also be another first since Brett Metcalf. So maybe kind of hoping for that, maybe for a story-wise, because that'd be actually pretty cool.
Yeah. We'll have all sorts of coverage leading up to the NCAA championships in Oklahoma City on DailyIowan.com and Daily Iowan TV. But for now, we're going to sign off from Madison, Wisconsin. For Cody Goodwin, Danny Payne, I'm Kevin Glick. We'll see you guys next time.